So, any demonstration today? So, I could do one, but I will just wait for someone else to do it, hoping you will join. He's not here, maybe next week. Some Microsoft stuff which has been released, but you can't see because there is no orchard tag inside the HTML, so even if you look for it. But
Why
very
is there no
interesting.
orchard tag? Why did they remove the orchard tag?
Because they are using it as a service.
Oh, okay.
Their front end is using Orchard APIs.
Oh, the API stuff that you wrote.
No,
You wrote.
they wrote their own.
Is it good? Can we take it?
No, they don't want to. They want to take ours when we have done it.
Oh, okay.
So
Right,
yeah, they are actually pretty well. I think they don't like it because it's slow, because they do too much things in the API,
Okay.
like select n+1 and lots of issues like that. They try to make it generic, and in the end, it's loading too much stuff for specific scenarios. So yeah, but they are satisfied with the overall solution, and it's live, and I won't show you today. Yeah, next week. I hope they will show it to you today, because that it's like last week when Rupali demonstrated her module. This makes more sense when some actual Microsoft employee shows it to you, because you're like, wow, Microsoft, cool, they work on it. So another team is using that. And actually, they are using also the media services module that you've seen last week.
Oh, are they? Okay, cool.
So that
It's not like the Xbox team, is it?
the what?
The Xbox.
I won't answer positively or negatively, because it, like every time you ask me a question, I won't say yes or no, just not to let you go closer to the solution. Okay, so no demo for this thing. 1.8 on my agenda. I have some websites to show because I haven't shown them in weeks. Maybe some triage, but very specific triage. Status. What else? Oh, harvest. What else? Anything we should talk about?
Absolutely. We need a website quickly, and we need to start the process of speakers and all that. I mean, if we're really thinking about it mid-June and we're mid-March, we're late.
That's fine. No, we have been more late than that. 3 months?
All the better to learn from past experiences.
I know. I just want to confirm the dates first before making up a website. But we can we can actually talk about it even if we don't have the dates. Correct. So website, I think, so let's start with that, because that's an important matter. And okay, harvest. So the current dates.
I'll take on the same responsibilities as in the past around that, and
Good.
bring that back. We'll speak with my buddy Sipka about it too, and yourself, and we'll bring that back. But it's we need to get the machine rolling on that quickly.
9, 10, 11. Okay, it's not yet official, but it's more and more accurate. 9, 10, 11 in Redmond, Seattle. It actually was no more the case last week because someone had taken the dates, but they canceled, so we got them back, but it's not yet. I didn't get the email saying, okay, confirmed, so I'm just waiting, but it should be these days. 9, 10, 11, 3 days, because I'm sure everyone prefers 3 days. We could have had an issue with the content over 3 days, but actually there will be some talks from the ASP.NET team too. so the usual guys that you might know, and on the technology that you might know, and actually also that you don't know. So this will be interesting. So you will see the new stuff that the team is working on, and we can, if you have specific requests for specific talks related to Microsoft or the .NET technologies, we just can ask, because it will be local, so people will be available to talk and give whatever we want. So that's why I booked 3 days. I think it will be awesome with all this content. And even if Nick can't join the first day, that will still be awesome. Yes.
It's okay. You can fly me there.
Yeah, we'll see. So Harvest 3 days. ASP.NET Talks 2. So that's said. What else? The website. So I let you, Ilan, and see with Sipke how to handle that. Taking the one from last year will make sense, and updating the images. Put more rain and clouds, and that's it. Remove some old buildings, and that's fine. So sessions. Does anyone have any idea what they want to be talked about? I had one idea yesterday, but my own idea. I won't share it.
Yeah, actually, we with Benedek thought about it to have a two-part session regarding.
Wait, you'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah, about scaling Orchard, having a thought around Orchard architecture, and having it continuously deployed and integrated, because nobody ever talked about that yet.
Okay. 3 parts. Why not 4? Okay, 3 parts of 10 minutes. That's fine.
We thought about 5 minutes, but yeah, 10 is more than enough.
Please provide submissions like last conference. I have a jellyfish memory. Submissions like last conference. What did we do last time?
There was a form, I think, on the Harvest website.
Oh yeah, so
It was a very simple process. Everybody got to do a submission. There was a deadline to submit your submissions. Then we went back, looked at all the submissions, created what seemed to be the most sense from an agenda perspective.
Correct, I agree.
And got back to everybody, and then actually worked with the various folks.
So Zoltan, please,
on their presentations.
Please submit it on the submissions page. And but if maybe just opening the question, maybe some of you guys who were in at the meeting don't want or may be able to show a session or to submit a session, but would like to see someone talk about something.
Request.
What would you like someone to talk about? Like, I don't know, theming. Oh, let's do another session on theming. I won't do one.
Signal.
Yeah, signal. So you see, like, brainstorm about ideas that we could have submissions for, or maybe wait for the submissions first and then suggest. We can do that next week. But yeah, think about that. So next week, if you don't see any submission or maybe the website won't be ready yet, think about what you would like to see as a content and at the conference, because yeah, some people will suggest things, and maybe some other might have better suggestions and say, oh no, actually my suggestion was bad and I will take your suggestion. Good. Okay, just think about it. I will too, but yeah. And maybe, yeah, I'll take some of the suggestions you have if you don't want to talk about it or can't talk about it for any reason. Okay, so this is Harvest. What should we talk about also about Harvest? We'll provide some information about lodging and traveling. this I don't think Ilan can help a lot. He will, but because it's not local, it will be harder. But it will be later. LetterSep will provide that on the website. What was also on the website last year: submissions, sessions, speakers, location, lodging. Yeah, we'll try to set up some discounts with some hotels. Then I think that's it right now. So 9 to 11. I've seen yesterday that actually there will be a conflict with the dates if these are these dates. Not so important. So there will be a conference in Dublin for Monospace. Monkey Space, the Monkey Space conference, open source conference, at the same dates. So this is a conflict, but it's in Europe, and that should not be a big issue, I assume. No real conflict with other conference, so this is fine. That's all I think for Harvest. Just raise your hand if you have more questions. Or Piotr says Hanselman. Yeah, we can ask. It's easier because it's in Redmond. Even though it doesn't live here, it's easier to ask him or anyone else to do a talk. So next topic, status and 108. So I will go over the work that has been accomplished the previous week, and I will share my screen for that. Benedek. Oh, an error occurred. Okay, try again. An error occurred. Okay, let's try to share an app. Nothing?
I have a blank square.
Oh, blank. Okay, that works. Okay, so now you should be able to see.
Nothing yet.
Sorry, not blank, black. I have a black square.
Oh, bugged again. I will disconnect and reconnect, okay? Just 10 seconds.
Now that Sebastian is gone, we can talk about the serious stuff.
About what stuff?
Serious.
Oh, about serious stuff.
And French people.
Okay, Benedek, does it work better?
It's loading for me at the moment. Yeah, I got it now.
Good. So 7 days ago, this I talked about. 10 days ago, allow SMTP settings to be set in webconfig. Then optimized an Hibernate configuration. I think we talked about it. this from, yes, we talked about it. This one we talked about, but it was about to push it. So Ben submitted a pull request so that he demonstrated it at the meeting. So I pulled these changes to collapse and expand the media items, the media folders. Then this one, which was, it's loading asynchronously all the subfolders in the media. This one is adding an in progress cursor. This is all the same actually, task 2479. Yep. Then fixing email settings banner. This was a bug I introduced. This one from Daniel Dabrowski, wrote PL, which proves that files have different last write time when installing packages. So this is a pull request and 2 commits, one to test to add a unit test and one to ensure it's fixed. It was about installing packages from the gallery, which will not which will not use the precompiled loader if the binaries were available, but always trigger the dynamic compilation. So we fixed that. Removing unused code. Ensuring I-tag cache thread safety. So Sipke reporting an issue with what?
Yeah, with when multiple threads.
Yes, thread safety. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And looking at the code, it made sense. So I fixed it. And you haven't seen the bug in the meantime?
No, it was gone. Yeah, something else cropped up, but that's fixed later. That had something to do with the Hibernate configuration optimization.
Okay, good. Yeah, fixed. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Fixing double encoding, which was about, yes, in the blog title, I think, if you had anything which can be encoded in HTML, like an HTML entity, it will be encoded again. So it was wrong, it's fixed. And then I worked on this, which is an important, actually, change. Not really breaking change, but important change. So I've added some new permissions to replace the usage of site owner by default. In some places, site owner still makes sense. It's very useful, but I wanted some users to be able to do things without having to be site owners. For instance, being able to create users without being site owner, and to assign roles without being site owners, and also to change roles. So change role is now I'm not sure. Change role. Change the permissions on a role. You still need to be site owner, because you can assign yourself the site owner role if you change the role. So you need to be a site owner. Otherwise, it's a security flaw, which means if you can change the role, you can make yourself the site owner and do anything you want in the website. So this one hasn't changed. What else? Yeah, I changed. Seeing the settings. Yeah, editing settings is now also a permission, but some of them are still protected by the site owner permission. For instance, the site owner name can only be changed by someone with the site owner permission or the site owner himself. So even if you have the change settings permission, you won't be able to change the site owner, which is in the settings. So that's about it. And also I changed the menus accordingly, and that works fine. Yep. Then I've added this to the settings in the site, max page size. So we currently have a page size, a default page size, which will show the default, which will define the default number of items in a page, either on the front end or the back end. But actually, if you go on the back end and you type, for instance, page size equals 1000, it will page using 1000. And if you do 1 million and you have 1 million item, it will load 1 million items on the server and try to render them and actually make the server unusable. So that's, I think, not a security issue, but production issue that someone could intentionally, or even not intentionally, make a site down by typing a custom page size or selecting all in the list of page sizes. So now there is a setting which will let you define what is the maximum page size that the user can put or select, and it will enforce it at the pager component level. And by default, I think I just keep it unlimited. There is no default value, I assume. Let me check. Or maybe there is, depending on my mood. Where is this class? Site settings part. There is no default value. Okay. And this can relate to the discussion that someone was complaining about SQL Server not being able to load 2100 items at the same time. Don't do that. And this can lets you enforce that. It's tilting here an equation. Mode-driven development. Yes. This one. Then I started pulling lots of pull requests and fixing bugs which were blocking for the release. So this one from Stanley. And there is another part later. The goal of this pull request is actually to fix the site settings export. Well, before this pull request in the current release, if you try to export a site setting, it will be done automatically for you. You don't need a driver import-export method. What it will do, it will go over all the parts on the site object and look at the properties of this part. And if it's a bool, a string, or an integer, it will export them automatically. Otherwise, it will just ignore it. And which means if you have, for instance, in the search settings part, an array of string, it won't export it or import it. So he fixed it in 2 steps. And now in the end, the solution is that it will call all the drivers on your settings parts if there are drivers and using import export. So you can customize import export. And if then it will go over all the parts. And if there is no exported element on the context for this site setting, it will apply the default pattern, which is okay, take each field, and if it's a string, integer, or bool, export it. So it's not breaking, but it lets you now define your own import export for site settings. And it will be extended to support more value types and also enumeration or arrays of simple types. No questions? Yep, actually. Handling reCAPTCHA timeouts. So Bertrand opened this bug, which is that if there is a timeout, like the network is not working or Google is not responding to a reCAPTCHA, it will fail without showing any message. And you will think that the command, for instance, has been posted, but not. This one, don't allow dashes and underscores in the technical names because it can conflict with the shape names. It's not breaking anything. If it was working, it will still work. It's just that now if you try to create a new field name, it will prevent you from using dashes and underscores. And you could say, yeah, but if I want to rename my stuff, it will block me. No, because you can't rename a technical name. So that's fine. Using custom links in default recipes. Yes, that's an optimization actually for performance. So before we were using a content item menu item on the main navigation to represent the home page with a default recipe. Now it's actually using a custom link with a URL / to point to the home page. This way there is no need to load a content item to represent it in the menu by default. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you, Zoltan, for the link. Then fix this bug about the __r query string parameter, which was here to ensure that on a post the content is not cached, and I fixed it and made it still work but better without the _ R. And yeah, so now it's you won't see it anymore. It's removed. Fixing warm-up unit test. Yeah, this was is interesting. The unit test, we have a simple one which just check that the warm-up feature can correctly support 404s and 200s from the URLs we give it. And the unit test was just looking for a URL on Microsoft, a page which doesn't exist. So it's just trying to say, okay, do you return a 404? And it should return a 404. But since last week, the Microsoft.com website is no more returning 404 status codes for non-existing pages. It returns a page that it did before, a custom 404 page, but not the status code. It returns a 200, which is wrong, but it was breaking our unit test. So I changed it using orchardproject.net because Orchard correctly returns a 404 when a page doesn't work.
Did you tell the Microsoft? Did you tell their team?
I expect them to know that because even SignalR had the same issue. They were relying on Microsoft.com / something, so I assume they know, but we'll see. I don't care. Well, they must know it. It's obvious that, well, let's try. If it's still not fixed, maybe we should warn them. Microsoft. / 200. That's still wrong. Okay, so I send an email to the persons I know there. Fixing edit placement and VC binding. Pull request. Yes, so edit placement was not working well all the time in some scenarios, so he fixed it. Gorizon47. If you can share your name with me, that will be fine because in the release note I will use your name. Collapsing show on admin option. Yes, I don't know. I think Sipke broke it because there is a change. There was a change here that Sipke introduced. So Sipke, not good. Yeah, the show on admin checkbox was not working, and the section was always expanded. This one, yeah. If you had to create a zone alternate, okay, you could not order the items in the zone because the order was private from the core shapes. Now it's a public static method, order, and you give it a zone shape and it will return you the list of the shapes in the ordered way. So yeah, I also was pissed off by this thing. So, and yeah, the recommendation that everyone agreed on was that we should make this method public. Then I fixed some not bugs but oddities in the SSL configuration. So now it's obvious, and maybe also there was a bug. There was a bug actually also here. Yeah, this fix was partly given by Christian Furieux with the correct accent. Fixing terms publication by Josh Perry. You could not save custom fields on a term. Now it's fixed. Hiding the install themes based on permission. So even if you didn't have the permission to install a theme from the admin dashboard, you could see the link. So I just now hide the link because it doesn't make sense if you don't have the permission. Fixing projection import with no layout makes it's obvious. Fixed redirect URL bug in output cache filter, one from Sipke, and I hope it doesn't break anything.
I tried. It actually fixes something.
You tried what you tried, not what you might have broken.
Of course. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, thank you. But so far I haven't seen anything wrong. Fixing out of memory exception when using pre-ProResQ SQL. So yeah, a previous change set introduced this default setting, the prepare SQL. What it's doing is that, and Hibernate, when you do a parameterized query, it will construct a parameter with the size, for instance, a string, with the size of the string in the type name. Like, let's say you'd say select from foo where bar equals, I don't know, word. Word being a parameter, it will issue a statement with nvarchar WORD 4 letters. So nvarchar 4 because word is 4. And if then you say to do the same query with another filter, another parameter value, it will do another query with another parameter type, like nvarchar 12, which means SQL Server can't cache the query plan because it sees different parameter types. With this option, it will tell an Hibernate to always use the maximum value in the parameter type. So this will be a static, not static, but the same type every time the SQL query is used. And then SQL Server can cache the query. So it's a performance optimization. But from the feedback, it was breaking SQL C at the setup. So I have extracted it to the abstract service what is the method called? Yeah, abstract data service provider. So now there is a virtual method called altered configuration, just in this class. So just if you inherit from this class, and then in the specific provider, you can say, oh, for SQL Server, I want the prepare SQL, and later I've added it to MySQL too. Did I miss any comment? The fix enables adding the config needed for SQL Azure.
Yeah, because the driver for SQL Azure is reliable. So if it loses the connection, it can automatically reconnect, but only if you enable it from a config. And this is not possible.
Can you make it?
Sorry?
Can you make it?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. What? Then don't cache routes with invalid duration. That was a bug on Open which could fail Azure Output Cache. And this is the fix from Stanley of his previous pull request. Then, very important, I merged 17x into 1.x. So all the bug fixes you see in the blue line I applied on 17x, I merged them into 1.x. And I will merge more and more frequently until we ship 1.8. I'll talk about it. Fixing assembly reference in the workflow. As you see, it was using the binary of another module, very wrong. Now it's using the correct version. Fixing profile folders logic. I fixed again how the profiles are generated, because with my last fix I was using an MD5 hash and it was losing the file name. I think it's better to actually keep the file name as is, and for SEO reasons, for instance, or just for debug reasons. And now the folder of the profile is hashed, and the folder of the image location or the media location is hashed. Okay. Then this one is the same things as the workflows. Yeah, but this one I will skip. Prepare SQL on MySQL also, and setting a default value for the cache duration. So if because of the shift, when you start a new website with on 1.x with output cache, the default duration was 0, and it should be something 300, for instance. And that should be, that's it. So lots and lots of bug fixes this week, just because we are closer and closer to shipping 1.8. My goal, based on my, as Zoltan says, hormonal cycle is to ship 1.8 by the end of the week.
Yeah, but before that, we really should take a look at
Sure.
the untriaged bugs, because there are loads very important for random tags and random tags.
Newton Surf is old version. Yes, it's old version, but do we need a new version? Do we need, in uppercase, like need, the new version? I'm not sure we need it, unless it's fixing obvious bugs. Okay, so triage. Triage will fix the breaking changes and the very, very, very important and nasty bugs, like security bugs and things that make Orchard unusable. The rest will wait, as usual, because we need to ship. Otherwise, we'll never ship. So, Zoltan, please share the ones you want to be fixed.
I'm not prepared. So.
Am I? Let me see. Issues.
Yeah, but
so we can go quickly over everyone very quick and see. Yeah, this one has to be fixed. Okay.
All right.
So proposed, maybe also active, because some of them have already been triaged but not put as high priority. How we will also find which ones we want to fix, and before shipping, we mark them as high. Okay, meaning it's very important. Let's do that now. And either on 17x or 1.x, depending on the kind of feature. Reason clause, we don't care. Type, we don't care. Impact, we don't care, because we want everything now. Let's start with actually proposed, because if they are active and not marked as high, it doesn't make more sense. So let's check release, I don't care, and assign to component, we don't care. 262, and let's start with the latest ones. Right now they're ordered by votes, which means okay. Get content times frozen. This one, maybe March 6. No, yeah, we don't care. Okay, everyone agrees. It's fine if it's breaking after 2100 published content items, just for projection. Don't do that. That's the recommendation. I'd like to close it, but by respect, because I'm not too condescending and too standoffish, I will keep it proposed.
I have seen this one before, and it's a pain.
And my answer is handle it in your code.
No, it was an accident. It was a projection problem.
Do you want to talk about it? Don't start me on it. So the issue is that someone makes a projection. I should stop talking with my condescending accent. So someone is using a projection, and it happens that the filter returns more than 2,100 items. A projection is used to render something on the screen. Why would you like to render more than 2,000 items on the screen? First remark. Second remark is it's a generic ADO exception, which means SQL Server doesn't support it. Okay, so it's a limitation in SQL Server. Okay, why should Orchard try to fix SQL Server issues, given the fact that I think we should not display this number of items on a page, given the other fact, which is you can do it by yourself in your code in your own module or overriding the implementation.
But isn't the suggestion to not use in?
We use in for a reason.
I know, but just trying to not misrepresent what the user is saying here.
No. There have been a long discussion about the bug.
I know, I've read it.
Okay, and they really say no. Yeah, they say fix it. Okay, it's an orchard issue, it's not a SQL issue. We want to display 2,000 items. I tell you, if you display 2,000 items, your server will go down. So why would we support that? It will load 2,000 items in memory. Well, at
but
minimum,
isn't the suggestion that we should do things differently in order for that scenario to be possible?
Let's read it this way, and we can't make.
If you explain why there is no other way to do it, that's one thing. But just saying.
Because the projection, it's really a projection issue. The projection applies filters, okay, and unions of filters, and in the end, it gets the projection filters providers give a list of IDs of content items that they filtered. And then the projection says, okay, I have some IDs, let's load them, let's load it. So we use a in, and there is another reason why we can't use a, how would you do that otherwise? I give you a list of IDs.
I agree and I understand. This is because of the way projections is designed, and if you want it to work any other way, you will need to write your own query. But I think here the way we explain it is significant. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So we won't fix this one. Not in projection. Not for 1.8. Orchard 1.7 media library needed additions. I've commented on this one. Yeah, this is not a proposal for new features. It's already triaged. SQL exception being thrown causes Orchard. This one is interesting. If we can repro it, and I think I haven't been able to repro. Did I comment? SQL exception being thrown causes Orchard. SQL C, I think. Maybe not, which is weird. So we have I think I've tried it and I could not repro. Okay. Did everything get and I will put it as I will open it as high just to follow it 17x. See if we can repro. Blah blah blah. If I miss anything from the chat, please make some noise. jQuery, we don't care right now. I mean, doesn't add anything for the moment. It does it? Oh, this is different. Active, but not much impact. So Hibernate Orchard doesn't handle correctly. Already triage for future version. Again, is it in an Hibernate or SQL or in Orchard? We don't know. No repro. well, the repro is use a unique key, and Orchard doesn't do it by itself, so you can introduce it. Orchard uses exception for flow. I think this has been fixed. Or a pull request will be provided. But not high. This is maybe related to Zoltan's comment. Okay, yeah, and this is the one. Release 17x. I think we had this on 17x already. Impact low. Can create tenant with name of an existing one. Yep, so this one I will. There's a pull request and I will take it then. I won't put it as I actually, because it's not change, and if we have other priorities, it should not be on top of the list. Widgets not missing common part. Issue. I think it has been fixed by Antoine, actually. Yep, it has been fixed by Antoine. Scripts include too much to read. I already commented. Later. Passwords which look like HTML are not accepted. Did we fix it? Active medium, because it's not a breaking change, but if someone can fix it, we'll take it. If it's not already fixed. Option to upload recipes on the setup screen.
That's already triaged for future.
Propose because we're not sure we want it. Future.
That too.
Orchard 17 roles too hard to secure one content type. Again. Active impact low. Aggregation feature for projector. Feature. Max function server cache out collecting too high. This one. Yeah. This can wait. It's an issue. Impact low, release 1.7x, but maybe 1.8.1. And close connections and deadlocks under load. This one from Bertrand. Monday Sunday, so I missed something. This changing. Wait. Still pending, still no repro, so I'll wait. TinyMC might break.
Yeah, I can confirm this issue.
Can you fix it?
I can.
I've seen issues with this in TinyMC and IE8. Anyone seen any of those?
IE8?
Yeah.
I don't work on IE8.
Yes. Being the version, the migration numbers is really, well, I can see a reason, but you need database access. It's very weird usage. Yeah, for developers. Yeah, but why would it be A and not the other one to be discussed? Overriding editor template in theme. Editor template theme affects admin view. Interesting. Yeah, assume it depends on the field. Yeah, that makes sense. I know the guy.
By design?
Yes, by design. I don't. I don't know the guy who made this module, custom forms. But the more I see it, the more I'm asking myself, well, we should have another module. This is nice. Yeah. So I will close it because the only solution is to create a new module. So let's make someone work on a module where you just drag and drop a form, and with just rendering on the front end and custom shaped for the front end. Well, for the forms actually, not the back end forms, not the fields, and that will work. Sorry for having created this module. It's a pain. Media import export support, no. Later. I won't change that, and short future. This taxonomy has terms more than once in a query. Yeah, there's a pull request, active low release 17x. Configure search type should honor search index setting on field. Oof, I'm lost. Content picker search tab should honor settings in fields. Okay. Active low. Just looking for high bugs. The transaction cell open exceptions. I fixed it by fixing the session loss, because I remember I had seen also an issue like this. Okay, I will just open it just to ensure I've looked at it. Just hidden and more. Just okay, this one. This one is important. Christian suggests we clopen it. Okay, because there's been a discussion. I don't know if there is an issue or not. It's high, you see, and I will have to try it. So it's already. But it's proposed. I put it active, so I'm sure I close it by fixing it or saying there is no issue, because Piotr reopened it, and yeah. So let's see. Important. 172 not tagged, not 172. That's weird actually, because I'm almost sure it's tagged. Let's look at it. When did we ship? 3 months ago. I see the tag here. And we've pushed master multiple times, so master. Story. I don't see the tag here. It's weird. Didn't we already do that? And actually, I'm not sure we want that. Let's talk about it. Semi-singletons. No, semi-singletons are nice.
They aren't.
For later, we'll see. It's not a custom form bug.
That's already fixed in one attacks.
many times do we have to talk about this? Or maybe I should close it. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I remember this comment and you didn't like it. I'm too condescending. It says here that so slashes return 404, no slash return 200. He says it's a bug. We think, for the ones who think the same, we think that no, it's not a bug. It's by design, that's how it should work. So he goes to another CMS and finds it works on the other CMS, so he changes the CMS and uses the other one, which is fine with us. And as a joke, I say, let me file a bug on their system because I think it's a bug. So and he doesn't like it. Really much.
I think we should consider handling that without people having to understand IIS as much. It's a pretty normal.
And it's fine.
It's a 404.
We'll close it. He's just mentioning because it was funny. I found it funny.
No, but I'm saying maybe we should make it so it works.
Default web config could have a few things like that.
There's a workaround.
Yeah, well, okay, well, if there's a workaround, then maybe it's as simple as the default web config that comes with Orchard should have, a rule in it that makes it work. That would be the way to fix it. Then you don't even have to touch the code.
Fix a behavior which is by design and not a bug. So now then someone else will open a bug saying, oh, you broke my website because it was returning 404 like I was expecting, and now we will tell them, oh, but remove the setting in web config. So let's tell to the people who want to change the behavior.
Do you really believe that people want 404s on this? I think the correct behavior is to do a permanent redirect. But the problem is that you have to choose which one is the canonical one. But we could make a prescription on that. And we wouldn't break anything if we replace the web config that gets installed and set up. I mean, if people deploy that new web config, well, does anybody ever deploy web config? No, you leave the production web config alone, so you wouldn't break anyone. But
yeah,
you would have correct behavior from the start, and the correct behavior is a permanent redirect. It's not a 404. Nobody wants the 404.
But this goes with the assumption that the two pages are the same. It's not necessarily the same.
Come on!
Yeah, they should.
Really?
Come on.
Seriously?
Yes, it's a different URL.
No. It is a different URL, but that nobody in their right minds will consider different, will want to be different. You will not serve a different resource. Ever. You shouldn't. That would be very bad practice.
Could you elaborate that?
What?
Could you elaborate that?
Would you really want to serve a different resource with the slash and without the slash?
No, I'm just saying that there can be cases where you use either one, and you can't make a global decision that one is the right one, and you can't use the other one because there will be a permanent redirect in the back.
But you know what? You can do that. You can do that in the rule. We choose one.
Hold on. Yes, you have to choose, because otherwise, if you don't choose one or the other as the canonical one, then you have the same resource under two different URLs. And that is also recognized as bad practice.
No, sorry. Currently, there can be a URL with a trailing slash and without a trailing slash. And it works now. And you can decide which one you use.
Yes, but they shouldn't be different. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, I agree. But
and you shouldn't have both of them respond and give the same resource either. Do we agree on that?
Yes, I agree. But you can't make a decision that...
So we want people to make the right thing to do is that you make a decision which one is the canonical one. That would be a decision that we would make for new sites. And I think that's a benign decision that we can make.
Yeah.
But if you create a redirect that redirects from URLs with a trailing slash to URLs without a trailing slash or vice versa, you would break existing implementations.
No, because nobody will deploy the new web config. It will only be on new installs, so you're fine.
I'm sorry, if you add it to the Orchard web config, once you upgrade, you would get that, or I'm misunderstanding something.
Do you deploy web config to production?
Sometimes.
I never do that.
Zoltan,
Yes.
I deploy settings in web config. I don't deploy the whole web config file.
Correct. What we do when we see a new version is we just compare it to our existing one, and we decide what we want and what we don't want.
Exactly.
And on new installs,
you're going to overwrite settings that you don't want to overwrite. You're going to overwrite machine keys, stuff like that. You should never deploy web config.
Right, and on new installs where someone's never installed Orchard, which are probably a large percentage, like brand new installs, we should have a default behavior. And I believe that the rule that's posted in this by
so the recommendation is to let users define this URL rewrite, because URL rewrite is not installed by default on IS.
That's a good point.
And if we do that, we break most of the websites.
Well, we should make that a dependency of the Orchard.
No,
install.
it's IS.
You can't.
It's
no, but
IS.
you can make.
Brett, we don't have one single dependency that is not Xcopy deployable today. That would be a first. We don't want that.
I understand. That's a good point, Sebastian.
I'm always right. Why do you try to argue with me?
I wasn't arguing, but I still think
I just made this one.
Okay. It's not great, but put it in there, comment it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I looked at TechCrush while you were talking. I looked what they were doing, and their assumption is if you go without the slash, they permanently redirect you to the slash.
Yeah,
I would have done the opposite. If you do the slash, I'll redirect you to this thing. This is personal, but okay.
I mean, interesting. Google, I just tried a URL on Google, and with the slash it was a 404, without it wasn't. But I don't think that's, yeah.
Google. Microsoft. Well, Microsoft doesn't even have 404s, so.
Yeah, Microsoft, it redirects.
Well, it's not ASP, so even if you do that.
Microsoft redirects to with the slash.
They don't even redirect the answer 200 with the same. That's when.
This one redirects to slash.
This one, we say this one, I assume. I need to open. Yep. Like TechCrunch. So the agreement here is to say, fine, I'm a dick, but we can do more. So closed by design, but yeah, we close it. The discussion, we won't fix it. What we can just say is, okay, the agreement is to agree.
Well, hang on though. Can we just put the rule commented out in web config?
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense because then it's right there for someone to see, and you put it out.
Yeah, documentation. I've seen that already. Daniel is not here, but he tried to do that in web config, and I was the dictator already. No, documentation.
Both.
Precedence. Again, it's like we could do that for lots of things.
Sure.
No, documentation, deployment documentation, what you should do, what you think about, and like a checklist. There's so many things to do like this.
Yeah, but look, I mean, it's interesting that this guy's example, he hated it so much that he changed to CMS over it. Now, I'm not saying that was right.
That's a little too much, but
it's kind of, it shows how important stuff like this is.
Yeah, it's very important to people. Put it in both places. What does it cost you, really?
He doesn't want to break precedent, but I think you make some exceptions.
But then okay, we'll add something more, and so on and so on and so on and so on.
So what?
No, you do case by case. You're the filter. Don't make it come to committee vote.
Yeah, slippery slope arguments are really bad arguments. Don't be a Republican.
He's thinking. No one's going to find this work item, Sebastian. You know that. Installing Orchard out of the box, you're not searching Codeplex for work items. Yeah.
The recommendation is to install rewrite first and then configure it.
I will add a note. Be careful, you need to answer. Defining.
Hey Bertrand, don't scare Sebastian away.
Canonical and what is it? Canonical URL. What is the non-canonical URL?
You get to choose one or the other.
So canonical doesn't mean it's a slash. Canonical means it's the resource.
Canonical is the one that actually gives you a 200.
Okay.
By the way, we have that exact rule in our web config, for what it's worth. We do.
By the way, I've released only one website in my whole life, and I made it too.
Yeah, see?
Whichever you think.
It's just kind of like out of the box kind of expectations.
And why is there no way to expose that as a setting?
Not really. You want it done at IS layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's faster in the pipeline. Yeah.
It's really slow if you do it at the ASP.NET level.
Really slow. I wouldn't say that. There's.
It's as slow as any page, but
I would say you can also do a module for that. There is a way, very simple way to do a module for that. You just handle. Oh, there is a 404. Is it ending with a slash or not? Then return permanently to the non-slash or the slash one. Filter. Done. 2 lines module.
Because I mean, the default should do whatever people expect it to do, and then you can say to get better performance, use the IIS module to do it anyway. I don't know, just an idea.
That's a little too complicated, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think we at One Stop actually we put a lot.
Where that breaks down is that it wouldn't give you the choice of the canonical one. If you had some default behavior, you couldn't override it that simply from webconfig.
Bertrand, you're not tweeting out your last comment, are you? Please don't say it. Don't tweet that one.
Oh, save me the dick.
Yeah.
You know me so well. I was that close.
I've tweeted that more than once. So that's fine with me. I will retweet it.
Would. I know you well too.
Yeah. By the way, why isn't the rewrite module installed by default?
Because you don't want people to use it.
It just... Why? Okay.
No, you want people to think about it before they use it, really. Seriously. It's a tricky one.
That's true. I mean, but it could be installed with no rules. That's the way, Yeah.
Okay, so 117. Zoltan, you have 36 hours to send me a list of bugs you want to be fixed for 1.8 because they are important.
This is a great offer. And
when I say Zoltan, I mean everyone here who is interested into having a nice 1.8 with bug fixes. So if you have something that you think is important and you care about it, first you have attended this meeting, and then you will send me a list of bugs that you think should be fixed for 1.8. My goal is Friday, so I don't have that much time. And don't worry, it will be in a state that works very well. It already works very well. Some of you already have it on production. And we have 1.8.1.2.3.4 and so on. And remember of a release that we shipped something like 1.7 and 1.7.1 the week after or 2 weeks after, something like that. So don't worry, we can then fix more bugs right after. Any comment? Sam is a dick. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a small comment. For me, what would be important for me for the 1.8 release would be that my website runs with empty logs.
Is one line of log is fine? Oh, your existing website, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it may actually already be the case because I'm not on the latest 1x, but so I might have to upgrade to that and see how it goes. But I have to do that on Saturdays. So.
Okay. So whenever I see something in the log, for me it's a bug, and I try to fix it personally when I see that. And know, I've been using a very big blog like yours to try it's working, and I'm hitting the media with the changes, running the recipe completely, and I have a log with just that exception. I could not find this table, so this is a new table.
Yeah, so I agree that you have a great testing bed now. The only thing is that it's not under load. It's not under real load.
So I have tried a load 10 minutes before on this website, 10 minutes before, and you know about what.
Okay.
And there was actually 0 lines of log, so it was fine.
Okay. Yeah, if you stress test
without any cache, and when I stress it is without any cache.
Okay, that's great. That's enough for me.
That doesn't mean there isn't a path which will show some logs, but yeah,
Okay.
1.8 is as much important to me than for you, I assume.
I know. Okay. Well, actually, I'm globally happy with the way the site runs right now. It's just those exceptions that are a little concerning to me. The Hibernate ones are the ones that I'm concerned about. But
we'll soon be able to talk about it. Disruption. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Any comment? Last comment before we close the meeting? Ilan and Sipke will talk together about the next step for the website and set up something. We know Sipke has nothing to do, so that will be quick. What else? I will have the definitive announcement for the dates on Harvest next week. Maybe before on the website, if I have the dates and the website is ready. And then I will make an announcement when 1.8 can be tested before we release it. Okay? No questions, no comments? Good. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Later.
Bye, guys.
See ya.